Hey, hello everyone. Happy Friday afternoon. Just doing an impromptu live this afternoon. I had some time and I thought, why not? Why not hop on live? But let me know where you guys are watching from. What state, if you're in the United States, what country, if you're outside the US. Let me know in the comments. But I wanted to hop on and talk about mindset. We talk about mindset a lot, right? We hear that term, but are we really applying it in our lives? And specifically, I wanted to talk about a top performance mindset, what that means, a top performance mindset. And as I'm talking, go ahead and put in the comments as well what a top performance mindset means to you specifically. But I just wanted to kind of start before I hear from you guys. But to me, a top performance mindset is a mindset that really does no limits, right? No limits, a no limits mindset. What does that mean and how do you achieve it? So, a no limits mindset means that when somebody asks you to do something and you don't know how to do it, you don't say no and put it off and not take action. A top performance mindset says yes and figures it out and does whatever it takes to figure it out and then goes and does that thing. They don't ask 100 questions, right? They don't take time to doubt themselves that what they're going to be doing is ineffective or tell themselves a string of theories of doubts and of past beliefs and circumstances that it was the opposite, that you failed. You don't remind yourself of times you failed, right? You just push on. So a top performance mindset uses failure as a catalyst for growth, right? Knows that failure is a part of this process, is a part of success, right? I think um a lot of times we think of them as separate, right? That success is over here and failure's over there. Well, absolutely not true. Failure is a catalyst for success. And how is this? Well, when you fail, you should be learning. And when you're learning, you're growing, right? So don't think of failure as anything but an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for something bigger. And how often has this happened in your life where sometimes you think you're actually failing? And maybe you really do have a belief that you're failing, but then it actually works out. It actually worked out better because you failed. And if you hadn't have failed, it might not have um, been as beneficial to you in the long run. I know that's happened to me for certain. Every time I seem to think I'm failing, it's only because I'm learning. It's only because I'm trying something different and new. And yes, it's hard, right? There sometimes is no blueprint for every single thing that you're going to be doing in life. Not everybody is going to be giving you this perfect set of instructions, right? Um, Sometimes you have to fail. Sometimes you have to just learn a specific lesson. But a top performance mindset is a mindset that says, how what did this failure teach me? How did it enable growth? Right? What can I learn from it? Right? What can I learn from it? And ideally, you learn so much that all of your acts eventually become successful. And, that's part of what goes into a top performance mindset as well. A top performance mindset does not get deterred by failure. I can't say that enough. Failure is just a catalyst for something bigger on the other side. But I, again, love to hear your comments. So if anybody's watching, go ahead and throw in some comments. Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. I would certainly love to hear from you guys. But um, top performance mindset, again, to be a top performer You don't get deterred by failure. You use every opportunity as a leverage, right? How can you maximize opportunity? I think that's so key, so crucial as well. I can think of a lot of people, just for example, that are professional speakers, right? So let's say they're a professional speaker. They may not leverage and maximize all of the opportunities that they can through speaking. That's just one way. Again, a top performance mindset says, how can I leverage opportunities and maximize them and optimize them? How can I optimize my time and my ultimately minimize my efforts, right? A top performance mindset is not afraid of action. They go toward action, but they also have an ownership. And the ownership mentality that they have is an ownership mentality that shows responsibility for their thoughts, shows responsibility for their actions, shows responsibility for their behaviors and their habits, shows responsibility for the way they carry themselves. They show responsibility for the way they take care of themselves as well, how much growth as well, right? How much investment, how much are they willing to invest in themselves? Top performance mindset is a constantly growing mindset. So if you're constantly and continually investing in yourself, again, that's a great sign that you're a top performer, right? It's somebody that doesn't give up, somebody that keeps pushing. And another thing, when you really dial in this, again, I'll call it a top performance mindset, you start to realize something really big, and that's this. Before you had a top performance mindset, you may have been able to get certain opportunities in life, okay? You may have been able to get there. But a top performance mindset recognizes that when they get there, so when they achieve some large goal, let's say, that the work has only just begun. The work has not stopped. So there's a big difference there, big, huge difference. If you have a top performance mindset, you acknowledge that the opportunity that you have gotten, the work has just begun. The work has just begun when you get that opportunity. So you push harder and you get better and you put in more work and more action, right? When that big opportunity happens, the work does not stop. You increase the intensity, you increase the effort, you increase the activity necessary to drive the momentum to get that result. You cannot get to the place you want to be in life, that level of success, without having the mindset to match it. It is not possible at all. And the larger your goals, the higher the trajectory that you have for yourself, the bigger the goals, the more ambition, the more the mindset, the habits, the consistency have to go along with it. Just think about that. Now, there's a good quote in one of my favorite books. It's called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. It's a fantastic book if you haven't read it yet. Definitely encourage you to read it. And in that book, he talks about habits. And the quote that's always stuck with me from that book is that we create our habits, and then our habits in turn create us. Let that sink in. I'll repeat that again. We create our habits, and then our habits in turn create us. How true is that? If we have a habit for eating unhealthy, for example, if we have a habit for not taking care of ourselves physically or mentally or spiritually, right? Not working on our craft, not putting in action, not putting in momentum, not leveraging opportunities fully, right? If we're doing things like that, it's ultimately not going to lead to the amount of success that we're capable of. It's just not. So, in order to get to this point, we have to have the mindset to go along with it. It's so key. And that's why the R for responsibility, the second principle, the second principle in my 5 step method is responsibility. And that stands for responsibility mindset. It's huge. We have to have a responsibility mindset and an ownership of our thoughts. We think, I believe it's, um, I'm going to get this wrong, but it's maybe 80,000 thoughts a day, something around there, maybe 100,000. But 80% of those are negative. So just again, think about all of your negative thoughts that you have every day. And this is for the average person, right? So imagine we all think 80% of our thoughts are negative, 80% of again, all of our thoughts are negative. But what if you're an unconfident person, right? A person that doesn't have the mindset yet to achieve those goals, those big dreams, those aspirations. Well, in order for you to really gain confidence, you have to have the mindset to go along with it. Again, mindset, so key for success. Success and confidence are also inextricably interrelated, right? It's really hard to become very successful and achieve those very big, I mean, huge goals. If you're not confident, it's hard to achieve anything when we're not confident. And think about that, everybody. How many years of your life, how many missed opportunities, how much dollars have been left on the table by being afraid to negotiate salary, by not being able to present confidently during a meeting, by not being able to, sell yourself because you're not confident, right? Or sell a product, sell your service, your business. Think about relationships. How many relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, professional relationships, etc. And it's come from unconfidence, and we've stayed in those bad relationships because we were unconfident. Ultimately, because we didn't have an ownership mindset, right? Perhaps it was a mindset stuck in the past. Perhaps it's a mindset focused on the future and worrying and anxiety and fear and doubt. Ultimately, if we don't have that mindset to go along, even with corresponding action, it's going to lead to a lot of wasted energy and effort. So, responsibility mindset and ownership mentality, a top performance mindset, is a consistent mindset. And it's a mindset that when negative thoughts, negative beliefs, self doubt, imposter syndrome, you name it, start coming through, that we immediately replace those negative thoughts with a positive one that completely contradicts what that negative thought was. Let me repeat that. When a negative thought enters in your mind, immediately say something that contradicts that negative thought. So, for example, if a negative thought comes into your mind and it says, I'm going to fail at this, I am a failure, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I don't have enough degrees or credentials, or people don't like me, you name it. Whatever these negative thoughts are that you're thinking, it's going to affect your corresponding action, right? This is why thoughts become things, because you believe them and then you do them by not doing them, right? So you're telling yourself that you can't do something. You're telling yourself you're a failure. So, in other words, you don't put in the action to change anything. And then it creates this reality for yourself that was created through your thoughts and your actions, your corresponding actions. A top performance mindset and a responsibility ownership mentality says that when these negative thoughts occur, and they occur for us all, that we again immediately replace them with a contradicting thing that says otherwise. So if these things, again, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, etc., come, what is something that you can replace it with? Immediately say something to contradict it. So that's not true because I have an MBA, or I have a PhD, or a bachelor's of science, or whatever. Or that's not true because I'm actually really good at this and people pay me for this, right? Whatever you have to tell yourself is fine, but do it, and do it with immediacy, because there's no time to waste. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. So it's not that we need more time to reach these goals. Okay? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference in the people that reach those goals and the people that do not is a lot of the times the mindset that holds them back, right? The I'm not good enoughs, etc. So the mindset has to be what is propelling your actions. Because ultimately, if you put action first, I'm going to step right out in action, and I'm going to do whatever, increase my action and frequency and whatever by this much, by this many times right off the bat. But you don't go through the steps to develop a responsibility mindset first. What that's going to result in is a lot of wasted action, a lot of wasted activity. And ultimately, it's not going to be beneficial for you, right? So you're going to waste a lot of action, a lot of activity, potentially even going in the wrong direction altogether, right? Potentially even wasting money, potentially even wasting resources and energy and capital. So it's absolutely essential to develop that mindset first. Develop that mindset. Follow up with consistent action in the right direction with strategy, and anchor it with your vision. What do you want your goals to be? Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to go in life? So today, I want everybody watching the show to write down some of your goals. What are they? I want to see them. Let me know. Write down your goals. Make it really clear what you want, and start taking those action steps through the lens of a responsibility and ownership mentality, and start going after what you want in life. Nothing is holding you back. Nothing but your mindset. So guard that mindset. Guard yourself against negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, self doubt, and imposter syndrome, and start saying yes to yourself. Start going after those big goals and big dreams, and stop being the one telling yourself that those dreams are too unrealistic. Unrealistic for who, right? They are not unrealistic for a top performer. And folks, if anyone out there has done it, you can do it too. If anyone out there has made $1 doing it, so can you. If anyone out there has gotten wealthy doing that same thing, so can you. The difference between that person and you is literally your mindset and the amount of action you put into something. Do you believe you're deserving? Do you believe you are capable? Do you believe you have all of the tools already inside of you to accomplish that task, to do that thing? If you don't have, if you have, pardon me, doubts about your abilities and keep telling yourself lies like I need one more degree or one more certification or one more of something external in order for me to get respect, the attention I deserve, the amount of influence that I'm seeking, then absolutely you're on the wrong track, right? If someone else is doing it and has made $1 doing it, and you want to do that thing, there is nothing stopping you from doing that thing. There's absolutely nothing stopping you, right? Figure out what needs to be done, but put in the action steps required. Keep the mindset strong. I think that's so important and imperative. If you're going to, uh, seek out any amount of success in life, again, we're talking about really big goals. You're seeking out any amount of success in life, and you expect to be motivated all the time, right? It's not going to happen. The only way you're going to be continuously motivated, and no one's continuously motivated, but sustained, right, is through action. A body in motion stays in motion. We know this, right? So the only way to become confident is through consistent acts of motion. You have to put in the action. There's no two ways about it. So put in the action, have that accompanying mindset to do it. Again, to keep pushing. And again, when those negative thoughts surface, when they come in, what do? We replace them with something that contradicts that negative thought, because we all have them. So I hope this episode has been useful to you guys. Just remember, success is for everyone. It's for everybody who wants it, right? Who's ready to go after it. Success is right there on your fingertips and around the next door. The question is not whether I can be successful or not. The question is, do you want it bad enough? How hungry are you to succeed? You cannot get something for nothing. You absolutely have to put in this corresponding action to go along with your thoughts and with your mindset. Nothing happens without action. So how bad do you guys want it? How bad do you want success? I want to hear from my audience. Let me know how bad you want success. Seriously. And if you're a top performer, a top performing mindset, what are your goals? I want to hear from you guys, especially, right? What are the goals of my network? Where do you guys see yourself? What do you see yourself doing in the future? Let's think big, guys. Let's think successful. Let's think abundance. And let's think confident, right? Stop self excluding and being the reason that you are not meeting your own goals. Stop self sabotaging. It's not happening anymore. We've got to get rid of that self sabotaging behavior. Start taking care of yourself. Start working toward your dreams. And it starts by writing it down. It's such a simple act, but write down those goals. What are they? And are they big enough? Are they bold enough? Is it really going to move the needle forward for you enough? Think bigger. Don't think small. We'll see you in the next episode, everybody. Thanks. Bye.